Walmart and Amazon plot astonishing move that would upend the whole banking system. And we need this to happen, by the way. When you hear what their plan is, you're probably going to roll your eyes a little bit. But we need something like this because all of these middlemen not only skimming money off the top, like that's the least of their crimes, but when they start acting like they're in charge, like Visa and Mastercard do. The only reason Visa and Mastercard can get away with behaving like they do is because they basically have a monopoly on that market. If it was easier to enter that market, this wouldn't be a problem. But since it's never gonna be because the government likes it this way, well, I guess we're gonna have to make a completely separate parallel market then. And that's what Amazon and Walmart are gonna do. Retail giants, including Walmart and Amazon, are reportedly exploring a bold plan to bypass traditional banks by creating their own currency. How are they going to do this? With crypto. So we had a false start in the early days, like during Bitcoin's first explosion, when all these companies were rushing to support Bitcoin payments as well. And then once they realized how volatile it was, they scrapped that plan. But this, depending on how successful it is, it might succeed. Yeah, and I know some of you are cringing, but I think this is preferable to continuing to let Visa and MasterCard make demands. We need to put these middlemen back in their place. Like, nah, bitch, you don't get to make decisions for my business. You're only here to facilitate the transfer of money between the other people and me. Just shut the fuck up and put the fries in the bag, Visa and MasterCard. I don't care about your morality. All right, the move to create their so capped stablecoin would allow companies to handle payments with a form of cryptocurrency pegged to the US dollar. Walmart and Amazon could then cut out middlemen like Visa, MasterCard, and major financial institutions. This is what we need. So the only time middlemen have value is when they actually offer you something for the money you pay them effectively. Like if they're able to do things faster and cheaper than you can because they got experience in the equipment and whatnot, and they charge you a fraction of the money it would have cost you to do it yourself, it's worth it. But if they're only there because you're forced to use them because of government laws and regulations, and you'd actually be better off without them, but they're being forced on you, like Visa and MasterCard, now we're having a problem. So when you're stuck with that kind of middleman, like the one you actually want to remove, but you're stuck with them, this is where plans like this come in. Right, the shift could save retailers billions of dollars annually in card processing and interchange fees, but experts warn it could trigger a crisis for the banking system. Oh no, not the banks! Yeah, they deserve a crisis, man. I mean, they've been taking advantage of us for so fucking long. Big retailers moving away from traditional payment systems would be a huge blow for banks and their payment providers. Yes, and it should be. We want this. Please be as big and painful of a blow as possible. Banks and credit card providers make huge profits from things like interchange fees as the reason for the interest from retailers. They want to reduce these costs. Yeah, so you mean the retailers are sick of being taken advantage of? Well, goddamn. Other companies are looking at stablecoin too, including Expedia and airlines, according to a report by the Wall Street Journal. Any innovation currently depends on a bill called the Genius Act, which would establish a regulatory framework for stablecoins. Man, the thing with stablecoins, though, is it's still a risk. Like that's what happened with the Terra Luna implosion. So in order to have a stablecoin, you have to pair it with another cryptocurrency that you then pump and dump as needed to keep its twin pegged to the price it needs to be at. But that system can be broken, as we saw with Terra Luna. So this is probably ripe for a disaster. Like I wouldn't put it above Visa and Mastercard and the banks to like intentionally try to crash these stable coins just to force the retailers back to them. If anyone's going to regulate this, they need to be on the lookout for exactly that type of behavior. The cryptocurrency legislation wouldn't just enable companies to launch stablecoins. It would also, it's also key to convincing consumers the new payment system is safe. There's a level of skepticism around the safety of digital assets and currencies, including stablecoins. The bill needs to clear the Senate and the House if any major changes are to become a reality. Well, or some other country could do it, and then the U.S. would just play catch up once they're successful. Like once the U.S. like if the Senate and the House knew that competition was coming, they'd move a lot quicker. Now, stablecoins could allow retailers to avoid traditional payment systems, which cost them billions of dollars in fees every year, including in-change fees, which they pay when shoppers make purchases using their debit or credit card. They could also offer merchants a quicker processing for receiving proceeds from sales. Currently, payouts can sometimes take days to settle. Yeah, that's the thing that like the legacy banks really need to like do better, as they say. Like transferring money between two banks could take days, and there's like no work on that during the weekends. Oh no, just working business hours. Meanwhile, with cryptocurrency, I could send you money to your crypto wallet and it's there immediately. Like they could advertise and sell the crypto on that alone. Hey, wouldn't it be great if you didn't have to wait like 3 days for your money to actually move where it's supposed to be? What if it was there immediately? It would also offer an alternative to card-based systems, which is dominated by Visa and MasterCard. Now, that's what we really need. So replacing the banks and the middlemen, this would do wonders towards preventing deplatforming. Interchange fees or swipe fees for Visa MasterCard total 111.2 billion in current year -1, up from 100 billion the year before, which according to the Merchants Payments Coalition. The group of retailers has been meeting with lawmakers in recent months to push for the Genius Act to be made law. They believe that regulatory framework for stablecoin could help end the duopoly of Visa and MasterCard. And this is why, like, regardless of what your personal opinion on this stablecoin stuff is, ending the duopoly of Visa and MasterCard should be this should be everyone's priority. Because right now it's Visa and MasterCard that are responsible for fucking around the most with the stuff we care about. So if they refuse to just shut up and put the fries in the bag, then they should be fired. I'm going to find someone else to put the fries in the bag for me then if you refuse to do it. More choice and more innovation is a good thing. Doug Cantor, member of the Merchants Payments Coalition's Executive Committee, told the Daily Mail, there's been no innovation for 40 years. For Cantor, stablecoins are a positive step as they mean more competition for Visa and MasterCard, and they could make payments more efficient and more convenient for merchants and consumers. However, he notes that there are things that need to happen before stablecoin payments could become a reality in stores across the U.S. Not only is regulation needed for consumers so they feel it's a safe payment method, but Visa and MasterCard could potentially take control over or kill any stablecoin venture in order to maintain their dominance, he said. Well, how could they kill it? Well, they have an incentive to stop innovation, Cantor explained. There could also be difficulties in convincing consumers to adopt a new technology, or traditional banks could simply adapt to the changes. Yeah, traditional banks could just accept crypto. Yeah. A large shift from traditional banking to payment systems will create a huge crisis for the mainstays in the industry, such as JP Morgan Chase or Bank of America in banking, or Visa and MasterCard in payments. But we need that though, because they like once they get to the point where they think they can decide like who deserves to be able to move money, yeah, they need to be replaced. Like Visa and MasterCard have long outstayed their welcome. However, at this early stage, it's easy to assume the banks and payment processors could shift their business to accommodate the changes in merchant and consumer behavior. However, it's not yet clear how big of a move there would truly be. The introduction of pay-by-bank options at retailers has not meaningfully reduced credit card volumes, given the entrenched use of cards and the ease of and comfort of the swipe. Well, plus It's not like these companies are advertising they have these fucking options. Like maybe if they advertised like, oh hey, we're gonna cut like 2% off of your bill if you use this pay by bank system instead. If they did that, and they advertised it, oh dude, the cards would be replaced in no time. Like I said, if retailers made a forcible move towards card alternatives such as store brand or third party issued stablecoin, they would more likely primarily be used online or where there's already many competing payment options such as PayPal or pay or buy now, pay later. Yeah, but are these other options supported at your specific store though? Credit card companies and banks aren't yet challenged by these new entrants. They will most likely not be immediately challenged by stable coins either. Now, this is true. Like, this is actually our saving grace. If the legacy financial industry, if they acted early, they could pretty much squash this, like, well, right away. But they don't see it as a threat until it's too late to stop it. So like that really is our saving grace. And whether or not these changes would be good for the consumer remains to be seen. Well, it's good for both consumers and businesses that get deplatformed. Third-party institutions like Visa and Mastercard offer proven security and muscle for consumers who are victims of fraud, but stablecoins offer none of this. Yeah, you actually have to have some personal responsibility if you're using crypto, because there's not going to be anyone there to give you your money back if you give your money to a scammer. While companies like Walmart or Amazon have the financial resources to stand behind any future branded stablecoins, there's open questions about how the stablecoin use or misuse might impact the stability of the broader financial system. Oh, okay, so now once again, their primary concern seems to be, oh, hey, look, we got cars now, but what about the horse and buggy? I don't care about the horse and buggy. Stablecoins, similar to other non-bank, non-FDIC insured products like money markets, are susceptible to runs, which can become panic-inducing for consumers and financial institutions when they occur. Plus, it's unlikely to mean that lower costs from reduced interchange fees are passed down to the consumer. Well, hasn't there been multiple banks that have failed in recent years despite being FDIC insured and people still lost their fucking money? I don't think this is worth as much as you seem to think. It's also possible that the overall cost of goods might fall slightly, but it's more likely that there will be a discount for consumers who use it, similar to cash discounts seen at certain retailers. Or they're just going to pocket that money as part of making the line go up. Amazon's efforts to integrate stablecoins are still in the early stages, presumably with the discussions told the Wall Street Journal, and some talks have been centered on having the company's own coin for online purchases. Walmart has lobbied for adding separate amendment to the Genius Act. People with the act told the outlet it would introduce more competition in the credit card sector, which is what we need. Walmart and Amazon did not immediately respond to the request for comment. Yeah, they don't want to give away too much. They don't want to. They want to be put in a position where they could be stopped by their enemies. So